Ashley Land, and welcome to another episode of Firehouse Foods, a show that serves up tasty recipes from the men and women of the Grand Prairie Fire Department. Today with me, I have Lance Brantley from Station 1. Hi Lance, how are you?
Good, how are you, Ashley?
Good. Tell us what you do here at Station 1.
I'm a firefighter paramedic here at Station 1. I ride the truck and the ambulance as well as the engine. We rotate back and forth on and off of each of them, so we spend about an equal amount of time on fire apparatus as well as the ambulance too. Okay, and Station 1 is located, just for the people out watching, where are you guys located? It's centrally located right downtown, 510 West Main. We serve the central area of the city. Our district goes from roughly about Skyline Road to, we cover all the way 161 up on 30 as well. So
what kind of calls do you guys handle here?
We do a lot of EMS calls. That's probably about 80% of what we do here is EMS calls, send the ambulance and the engine or the truck out on the EMS calls. We handle a lot of car wrecks. We also have a lot of house fires here due to the older construction in the area. Right. So we still get a lot of house fires in this area as well. Okay, and which is your favorite to respond to? I enjoy them all. They're all exciting. There's something always new. So. Right. Always keeps you on the edge of your seat around here. Always something to do. Sounds good. So what are we making today? We're making guiso, which is like a Spanish beef stew. Okay. And is that a popular recipe here at the station? It is. We cook quite a bit because it's easy to prepare and does a lot of the cooking in the oven, so we can prepare it, get it ready, and then put it in the oven and come back and eat it later if we were to get a call or something like that. So. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Sounds good. Okay, Lance. So what's the first step in making the guiso? The first thing to do is to go ahead and turn on the oven, get it preheated and warming up. It's going to cook at 350 for about 2 hours. And then what you're going to do, you're going to take your stew meat and you're going to take a couple of bowls and you're going to put a little bit of flour in a bowl. This is just to coat the meat. So you don't really have to measure anything there? No, not really. Okay. No, just put a bowl full of flour. You don't want to overcrowd the meat. You want to get a good even coating on each piece of the stew meat. Okay. You can use either pork or beef. This right here is beef stew meat. It's already cut up. Just open that up. And then you just want to take a little bit, put in there with the flour. Like I said, you don't want to overcrowd the flour any. You want to get a good even coating on each piece. Okay. Okay, once you got your oil in the pan, you have it started to heat up and it gets to a warm temperature. What you want to do is, after you've floured the meat, got it all ready, got a good coating, good even coating all over the stew meat, you just want to take a small piece to test it. Once it starts to sizzle, kind of like that, that means it's ready to drop the meat in. What that's going to do, that's just going to, what you're trying to do is you're just trying to brown the meat a little bit with that oil on top. I mean the flour on top. Just brown. You don't have to cook it all the way through. But once it's brown, this just gives the meat a little more flavor, kind of adds a little more. This is going to kind of be the base of your stew. So it adds more flavor to the stew as well as browns the meat, gives it a little more texture, a little more flavor. And what you want to do is just drop it all in the oil. You may have to do a couple of batches because you don't want to overcrowd it too much. You want it all to cook evenly. So we have the meat done. Now what is the next step? Okay, once the meat's finished, then what you want to do, once it has a good coating on it and looks like it's brown, you want to go ahead and take it out of the oil that you've browned it in and put it aside. Go ahead and let it drain, cool for a minute. And while you're doing that, you can come over here and you can prepare the rest of the ingredients. You can chop up the onion, jalapeno, and things like that. So if I'm making a smaller batch, I don't need the whole onion? No, I mean, and it's to taste too. It just depends on how much onion you want, you know, so. But no, you know, a smaller batch, you know, you may want to use like half of an onion or something like that. Okay. How do you do them? Yep, just like this? Perfect. That's perfect, yep. Got it. Veins, seeds, and all. It's going to be spicy. It just depends on how spicy you want it. Right. When we make it here, we always put the seeds and veins and everything in there. So once you get everything finished, what you want to do is take your beef broth, go ahead and just pour it in. Pour a little in, that just kind of helps everything mix together so you're not mixing a bunch of solid ingredients together. And do you have your burner on still? The burner's on. Okay. It's still just on low? It's still on medium heat. Medium, okay. And then you want to add your meat back in that you've set aside to kind of drain. Okay. You'll be adding more towards the end, but that just kind of Gets it in there, kind of lets you see how much you're working with. And then what you're going to do is go ahead and add your onions and your jalapenos in with it as well. Just like that. And just kind of sprinkle a little bit on top.
It's looking good.
And once you get it in there and kind of mix it all back together, and like I said, you'll have to add probably a little more beef stock. What you want to do is just, you want to kind of cover the whole dish with the beef stock.
Are you looking for a specific consistency?
You want it to be like a
stew?
Like a stew.
Okay.
Kind of like a soup. Not too thick, not too thin.
Right.
Mix it all in real good. You want to bring it back to a simmer, kind of a slow boil. Before you put it back in the oven.
Okay, so now that we have our guiso, we've got a little beans and some rice, we get to taste the final product, right?
Final product.
Okay. That's good. It's like a stew, but I would probably put it in the tortilla because I eat everything with tortillas. Very good.
You can also eat it like that as well.
Well, everyone, if you'd like a copy of today's recipe, go to gptx.org/firehousefoods. Well, Lance, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
We enjoyed having you on the show.
Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. Well, everyone, make sure you join us for another tasty episode of Firehouse Foods.